music or intro. This is all raw, unedited. Totally don't have time for any of that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to work from head to tail. So much stuff I really need to fix, but I'm going to try to not itemize anything because then things start looking like super out of proportion and funky. So I'm going to start with the head, and I'm going to work out some of these messy lines. And as I've said before, especially on Instagram Live, I always erase as much as I do draw, and of course reworking all the lines constantly. So yeah, I guess we're going to make this into a kind of uphill dressage, pony, horse, or whatever. I'm going to draw in whatever type of bit you feel necessary. This, I guess, is just going to be some sort of like, I don't know, like butt snaffle or whatever. Not quite a D-ring, but not quite just a, regular round ring. And then I'm going to draw the paths of where I want my bridle's leather pieces to go, the head stall and all that. And then that's a little bit too high for the caverson. I'm going to just drop it down maybe to about here. So line, line. And we're going to do this brow band. Kind of thick right now, but we're going to absolutely get all the details worked in. And actually, I do want to put a rider on this. So maybe we'll do some details on the bridle after, like the little clasps and whatnot. And probably would be good to zoom in on this a bit. We're in the page, okay. So I'd like to do a couple of lines. Don't know, this is a 0.5 millimeter, and I have a 0.3, but I'm super savage and just break the thing all the time. But I don't know if you can see any of that. So, little bridles there. And of course, we always can go back and rework it, but try to match up. Or sometimes we'll do like little rhinestones. You can get really creative. Then of course we'll do one of these. So now, continuing on, I'm gonna just draw in the eye real quick here. It's a little bit big, so what we're going to do is we're just going to come in, make a couple lids. Sometimes you can put in a little bit of an eyelash. I always want to try to do like a little spot or highlight. I mean, you can't really see a lot of the details. It's super like, I don't know if you can see that or if it's blurring out. Who knows? But again, I'm always like reworking, trying to make it look semi-realistic. Again, we can always revisit this area. Doesn't ever have to be perfect on the first try. If that happened, then boring. I always like figuring it out. So the neck's a little bulgy. You can always take your eraser, rework that, get some of these lines gone. We'll go back and do some more nose work and everything else. Again, you can always clean up. Okay. So here's our throat latch, and we will have that come down here a bit. I like to do some wrinkles, some musculature over here, and head stall. I don't know if you can see that. So a couple lines. You can even have the ear kind of turned too, which is always fun. And you would do just something like that, make it a little curved in instead of straight. Very fun, very fun. Also, I'm pretty much digging this horse's profile. Make a little vein there, can make some nostril you know, and don't be afraid to play around. You could have a more, you know, curved out, curved in, whatever you feel like. And you could fashion it after your favorite horse or pony. That is always fun. So what I lacked in yesterday is we didn't talk about the chest and stuff, and honestly I think that this leg has to be a little less and be off the ground, where this leg should be the only one on the ground. So we're going to take this back a notch. Actually, let's just erase real quick. You're probably like, what is she doing, erasing all her work? But it doesn't matter, because this is the fun part. You get to redo everything in the fashion that you want. So we're just going to calm down this little area here. How does that look? So that was the original. These erase marks that'll probably be there forever, but that's okay, because this is just for fun. So even that slight bit can make all the difference between the horse looking out of proportion and not. So here's my ground. I don't know if you can see that. I made this hoof a little bit smaller, and then we'll match that with the length and the length and the shape and the shape. And I think that they match these back hoofs a lot better at this smaller hoof. So let me know what you think in the comments about that. So I'm going to just bring back my knee a bit. You know, if you still would like to do the shape, we can draw in the shape. I'm always down for shapes. Shape. Oh, and then we get to re-practice our pastern and our coronet band. So we're going to close off this back of this pastern right here. That would be the fetlock and the joint. Then we'll do a bit of a heel right down to the toe. And again, have fun reworking all of that. And you can see the original. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm too long still on this. You let me know in the comments. I can always shorten it up again. See how I'm reworking? And if you don't want to watch this, you can always fast forward. I think it's better than, you know, the Instagram live, because you can only fast forward in chunks, I guess, on that. So if you want to skip on to another part, you're more than welcome to. Now, for what's really important, this leg is going forward, and this leg is also going forward, but kind of back just a bit. And then I also wanted to address this area here. It was very aggressive on my part one. And this is the kind of stuff we rework here. And I wanted to like play with this so bad yesterday. And I was like, no, I have to wait. I have to wait to tape YouTube stuff. So y'all get to enjoy my very rough, unedited, raw videos, because I just cannot do that. Ugh. So anyway, chest. We have to talk about the chest. So here's our shoulder, and we definitely erase this line here, our original circle line. We want our neck, the base of our neck, to just come in right here, like our chest is coming out. You can kind of see a little bit in the front here. You know, and please feel free, if you think, oh, that's way too far down, then please let me know what you think in the comments. That would be really helpful. You know, mind you, this is all from imagination land. Lots of years of going into, you know, developing this kind of skill. So, and I'm very happy to be finally sharing. I think I've told you all, like, I was meant to do a YouTube channel like 3-4 years ago. Well, it's finally here. Doing it in my own time, but I really love sharing, you know, what took me years to learn. You know, share all my techniques and stuff with everyone. So Now I need to just step back and relax for a minute. Make sure that this pony or horse is not, I don't know what you can say, just in proportion. Nothing's really, I don't know, my neck got a little too long here. Here's a nice big shoulder coming up, elbow. This girth is open because traveling forward. Still can see a bit of this chest because this is also moving forward. So we're going to just place a girth on our girth area. Excuse me, as you know, with my imagination art, I always start with the horse first, and then the saddle, and then the rider, and then it's quite the opposite when I'm doing art with a reference photo. So I decided to, dressage saddle. I've been just kind of winging those lately. We do a deep seat and a high pommel here, and a high cantle. Here's the panels of the saddle. Okay, do that long flap. And then I will start drawing the rider, just kind of like the path of her leg and her seat. Her seat's obviously here. Abdomen, hip. We're always putting in, there's thigh, leg. I don't know if you have a different technique. Definitely write it down on the comments. That would be super helpful. I'm always up to learning new techniques and other people's techniques, whether they work for me or not. It's just fun to know and gather information. But don't be afraid to rework all the lines. She's kind of sitting weird, but we'll just rework it and see how that got a little thick there. Yep, and then you can, if you want to be really clean, because all the extra lines confuse you, because that sometimes happens to me, then just go back and erase. And your rider can be in any sorts of fashion. Just did a tall boot there, and obviously this knee and thigh, it's got to look a little more organic, but that's the fun part of reworking the lines. I'll do a little bit of a crease here at her knee, where her joppers crease. Maybe a seam, a different, I'm not very good at people, especially imagination people, because they weren't really a focus back then. So I'm still learning, obviously. And now we're not going to do quite a deep heel on this dressage rider. We'll just do it a little flat. Not really sure if her leg is too short, stirruped or not. Again, if you have any suggestions, just let me know in the comments. That would be phenomenal. So a little stirrup, I like to make a little piece right there. Some stirrup leathers will hide behind that boot a bit. You can always put the extra here in any sort of fashion you want. Let us see. I'm going to do a little bit of a dressage girth. And we can get all these details in another video. I just want to progress organically with everybody, I think. We will definitely end up reworking this back, and I think this is a nice long body flank here. But yeah, we're going to definitely go over that. So I like to see the rider's abdomen, and there is the other leg right there. We can come up to the pommel. The dressage pommel is just a bit, with a deeper seat there. And I like to put like a little fuzzy bounce pad or something. There we go. And then a dressage saddle pad, I suppose. And again, I'll take the time and the details to do whatever you want with that. You can fashion it after your favorite saddle pad, or one that you really, really want, one you already have. I like to put like a little border on there. I'll do the same over here. Clean it up. There's so many details that I haven't even done yet.